Let's just pretend.
People, I want the baddest whining song listen to the world. Every girl come on and spread out the wine up. Bad girl, bad clap when you wine pants. Look back and look over when you wine pants.
Ooh, check me out, check me out. What's popping, my Lily Pops? Actually, I just lied. It's what's popping to my Garden Coils crew. Your girl has officially rebranded her platform. I'm super excited. This new channel still embodies everything that I shared on Lily Pop Originals, as far as definitely use inexpensive ingredients to both grow and sustain healthy natural hair. However, Garden Coils is taking it up a notch with the ingredients we're using, the products that we're making, the products that we're trying out as well. Stay tuned for that. And this rebrand is also accompanied by the launch of my blog, gardencoils.com, where I am sharing quick and easy techniques, my favorite pre-poo, how to detangle like a pro, just to name a few. And you guys can get more background into who I am as a person. Now that we're getting into this video though, we are touching on all things shrinkage. I know that a lot of people like to brag that their hair is this length, they pull it down to this length, it's bra strap length, the shrinkage is real. There are people that really struggle with shrinkage. It limits your ability to manipulate your hair at times. Some people feel like they can't achieve certain hairstyles because it doesn't look quite right. And honestly, it just discourages certain people from even wanting to try with their hair at all. I'm trickling in 4 tips for how you can deal with the shrinkage and how I overcame it as well, because I definitely used to be one of those naturals. My GC crew, pop off. This is bananas, B-A-N. All jokes aside, my first tip is incorporating bananas into your hair regimen. I know that bananas aren't something that is really heavily marketed in a lot of the store-bought hair care brands. However, it is not to be slept on. Banana is great with increasing the elasticity of hair. And elasticity just refers to your hair's ability to coil up and also stretch out. I particularly noticed that when I started creating this hydrating hair mask that I've also shared on my channel before, of course I'll be sure to link it down, that my strands started to work with me a bit more. I'm not saying that putting banana hair mask into your hair is now going to make your hair go from whew to whew. That is unrealistic. What I identified though is that when I manipulated my hair, such as putting my hair in twists and taking it out, the twists were actually staying elongated as opposed to automatically shrinking back to the scalp as they would do before. And so along those lines, there are hydrating masks that you can make out of bananas, and a lot of people elect to make protein treatments out of bananas and accompany like avocados and something else as well. What people don't realize is those ingredient mixes work so well with one another, and a lot of people notice that after a protein treatment your hair is a bit more elongated. It is because of the banana that is in there. It stretches out your strands a bit, and over time you will notice that the tightness reduces a bit. Along these same lines, I will put in a disclaimer, and it may not be consolation to people that really feel boggled down by the shrinkage, but hair that shrinks is actually an indicator of healthy hair. I'm not saying that it just automatically means that your hair is healthy, but majority of the time, if your hair shrinks, it is healthy. Shrinking hair is healthy hair, but definitely incorporate banana hair mask into your hair regimen to start to see those results of hair that stays. The second tip that I have is using the banding method in order to stretch out your hair. Personally, for me, this has proven to be most useful after I'm just done washing my hair, but the style that I want to achieve will look better with some added length to it. A lot of people also use this method when they're looking to stretch out their wash and goes, because with the layers of products that you use in wash and goes, with type 4 hair, it tends to make that hair coil up. So for the demo, I have a piece of Kanekalon here, and I have one scrunchie, okay? all that you basically do for the banding method, let's just pretend that this is attached to my hair. All that you do for the banding method is wrap the scrunchie around the full length of the hair, creating some space in between each wrap that you do, okay? So this is not going to be perfect, again, but you guys can see from here, this is what I'm doing. And then I'm going to take a second scrunchie and start where the first one ended. And again, wrap it around the full length of the hair while creating some space in between each loop. So you guys see this. Ultimately, what you will have is scrunchies that are creating tension along the length of your hair, okay? So you guys like see this gap in between, right? This is what you're looking to do down the full length of the hair, okay? And just imagine it's banded. If you sleep in this or let it sit for a couple of hours, once you take it out, your hair will be elongated and it will be stretched. This has been extremely useful for me. One of the things that I will say, when I am banding, I personally soak my scrunchies in some oil just because it does create tension, and I need to make sure that scrunchies are not actively cutting my hair off while I'm just trying to stretch my hair. You always want to make sure that your hair is not thinning over time by doing this on more of a regular basis. Also, the thing that I would recommend with using the banding method in order to get some more length going outwards, and it also gives you some volume, is really not to do it all of the time. I do not band on a weekly basis. What you're ultimately doing is like training your hair to kind of, you know, frame in a certain direction. If you're banding your hair downwards, over time your hair will start to fall that way. This is the same idea when people claim that like they're heat training their hair. You put enough heat on your hair, soon enough you won't need that much in order to get your hair straight. So you band your hair enough and do it a safe way, your hair will start to naturally elongate out and it will fall downwards. Another product that I have found works extremely well for alleviating shrinkage, honestly, is flaxseed gel. If you guys are more so familiar with products that are on the market, there is a brand that actually has an elongating flaxseed gel that works really well on hair. I haven't tried that brand, but I've seen great reviews from their product. However, I have made flaxseed gel at home using Natural 85's flaxseed gel recipe, and I personally noticed that typically with other gels, the hair tends to kind of shrink up when it's applied to the hair. However, flaxseed gel, I find it to be a bit heavier than other gels that you might have out there, such as, you know, olive oil gel or Pro Style gel and things of this nature. And because of that, I find that it can actually do great with allowing the hair to weigh down a bit. It's super weird. It's like it weighs down your hair, but your hair doesn't feel like it has a whole bunch of product in it at the same time. And this really depends on the amount of flax seeds that you put into the mixture when you're creating it itself. I found more flax seeds creates a thicker gel, less flax seeds gets you more of a lighter whole. So that's something to be mindful of if you're creating flaxseed gel. And of course, I'm going to link it down below in the description so you can see how I walk through that process. When it comes to applying gel, a lot of people only think, let's say you're doing a wash and go, or some people even do twist outs with gel as well. Some people just think, let me get it on the full length of the hair. A lot of the time people are really missing their roots, and I feel like everything starts from the roots, because when it comes to shrinkage, especially because we're in the summer right now, my area is averaging like 90 degrees plus right now. I just can't believe that summer just started, but we always know that it really gets popping in July. A lot of people don't realize that you're constantly sweating. And so if the sweat is secreting on your scalp, that's where the water is coming from. So honestly, the shrinkage or the desire to revert back to, you know, the actual shorter length of your hair is going to happen from the root. If you are more intentional about getting a good amount of product on those roots, that makes sure that you're, you know, mitigating the potential of the shrinkage really being unbearable for you. And with applying products to the root, you definitely want to make sure that you have a more regular cleansing schedule in place too, because packed products on the root prevent the benefits and natural ingredients from other products that you may use throughout the week from actually penetrating your scalp. And my last tip for dealing with that shrinkage is honestly putting plaits into your hair and investing in some bobby pins. I'll explain everything in a second. So I am very intentional with mapping out my hairstyles. If I know that there's an event or something that I want to go to and I may want to do a little something extra to my hair, days in advance, I'm already taking the steps that I need to make sure that my hair is in the proper state and ready for that style. What I mean by that is starting off on stretched hair when it comes to styling honestly helps you with length. When you're trying to get length and you don't want that shrinkage and your hair's already stretched, you also have to be very mindful about the amount of product that you're putting in too, because you have to know what products are going to revert your hair. So let's say like I want I don't know, like a big flexi rod set or a perm rod set, or even a twist out that has more volume to it. I'm not going super heavy on the products, because if I do that, I'm going to lose the volume and it's going to be very defined but less dense. I encourage you guys to start on stretched hair, not using a heat styling tool, but just using plaits. I personally wash my hair, and then if I have something that I'm going to later on in the week, or just maybe say 2 or 3 days later, I put my hair into 3 plaits, and those 3 plaits go downwards. So I split down the middle, one is hair, and one goes straight down in the back. Plait downwards. That step is extremely important. I then use a whole bunch of bobby pins. I've actually never counted them out, and I place them on my hair to make sure that I'm laying down each plait. What that does is help to stretch your hair. You can cross your hair and stretch it out here, so this tail in the back may be up this end, and that is what you want. Stretch the ends of those plaits all across your head, any which way, to make sure that you're stretching your hair. You're going to see less shrinkage over time. The way that you plait your hair also helps with training your hair to go in a certain motion if you do that consistently and, you know, on a regular basis as well. I hope that these things have been extremely helpful for you guys. If you have more unique situations about your shrinkage that you would like to put down in the comments, please drop them down. I'll respond back to them, or you can opt to go to gardencoils.com on my blog and send me a private message, and I'll connect with you via email. Just let me know what works really well for you guys. My Garden Coils crew popped off, and I'm so excited to have you guys on this new journey with me. See you guys later.